Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially update you on some more current and related news. We're going to talk a little bit now about Real Madrid and the players that they're interested in, and it's reported that I've just been reading a few media outlets that Robert Lewandowski does want to leave Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid apparently are heavily linked with Timo Werner from RP Leipzig, who is only 21 years of age, but there's a big age difference between Werner, who's a forward, Lewandowski as well. He's only 21, he's Werner, and Lewandowski is a lot older than him. So I think, considering the age, considering the situation with the age, I think Real Madrid would rather go for the Timo Werner that rather than Lewandowski, if I'm going to be honest, because he's probably got years ahead of him. Lewandowski hasn't got that many years ahead of him now because he's grown up. He's proven, he's fully proven anyway. His experience is Robert Lewandowski, but I think I don't know if Real Madrid are actually wanting to get the player, but I think Lewandowski is interested in making the move to Real Madrid. So the press are actually reporting now that Real Madrid, considering I was very surprised them, a club, that's won La Ligas, won 3 Champions Leagues in 4 seasons, got class players in their team such as Bale's hitting form this season for them. They've got Ronaldo, who's fantastic, and they didn't really, they only bought, I think, was it 2 players in the August window. I was very surprised. I think they generated a lot of money for the departure of their players as well. Did Real Madrid? You saw Monaco with a team that generated absolutely loads of money as well in the August window. Arsenal generated loads of money in the August window as well. But the big spenders were like Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City. And that's the thing. But we're not going to talk about the actions. We're just going to go into a bit of transfer rumors now. Apparently, this RP Lee's bigger Timo Werner now is 21 years of age. He has got a contract with RP Leeds bigger until 2020. His progression's been fantastically well with RP Leeds bigger since he's joined the club. He is only 21 years of age, this player. And apparently, he's open to the move to the Premier League. He's open to the move to Real Madrid. Ball and Spanish publication reported I think Real Madrid are keen on getting the player. He was a key player for them last season. He scored 21 goals for the RP Leipzig last season, and he's already this season progressed very well. He's scored 4 goals, and his ratio is very good, and he's created 14 chances as this player. But Real Madrid apparently are interested in, and they're monitoring the player as well. I think Liverpool have had an interest in the player as well. He was at Stuttgart for I think was it 4 years or something like that. He made 95 appearances. He nearly made a century of appearances. Scored 13 goals. Stuttgart as well, 1 goal for 1 assist. Although that was the reserve team for the Stuttgart. He scored 1 goal, one appearance, scored 1 goal. And since he's been RP Leeds big, he's made 35 appearances. I think that's just in the league and in the league, and he scored 25 goals. So he looks a promising player. He's won 8 caps for Germany as well, and yeah, he was the first ever player, first Bundesliga appearance on 17th August 2013 against Leverkusen. He scored his first Bundesliga goal for Stuttgart against Frankfurt on November 10th. Werner added a brace to his tally as his side beat Freiburg 3-1. Werner netting the 2-0 and the 3-1, thereby becoming the youngest player in the Bundesliga history to score 2 goals in a game. And he did sign on his 8th professional contract until June 2020. 18 did the player. He's been relegated with Stuttgart. I think it was in May 2016, and then I think RP Leipzig have bought him from Stuttgart for just £10 million, and I think since his arrival he has progressed, fantastically well. He agreed a 4-year deal with RP Leipzig. I think this is his 2nd season now in the process with the club, so he does look a promising player, and he got 21 goals last season, as I did say. He actually was the top scorer in the division. Was the player, and he was a player that helped, just like Naby Keita did, and that helped them qualify to the Champions League and gain 2nd place. So this player does look a very promising young player. He does look a promising young player. 21 goals last season, already 4 goals this season. Apparently, he is open to the move. I think he still likes it where he is, but he's open to the move. But he does look a promising player. He actually does look a promising player in this situation. And anyway, we're going to get into now also Robert Lewandowski now. He's Bayern Munich future is a debate. I think now Robert Lewandowski does actually want to make the move to. I think he wants to make the move to Real Madrid. I think that's his favourable club. Also, the press have reported that City have showed an interest as well. Manchester United have showed an interest in Robert Lewandowski, but I don't think we'd be really too bothered now, considering we've got Romelu Lukaku up there, we've got Ibrahimovic coming back in December, so we may not need Robert Lewandowski, and considering his age as well, in the situation. But yeah, apparently, what's basically being said is I don't think he's been. What did it say now? This 6. Robert Lewandowski is basically saying he has been affected by the PSG transfers, and they've invested a lot of money. And what he's basically saying is, I don't think he's commented much Robert Lewandowski on his links to the Real Madrid rumours. He hasn't really commented much about that, but he's affected by the PSG transfers, and he basically he said as Robert Lewandowski. He is criticised Bayern Munich for their lack of investment in the transfer window. The lack of investment in the transfer window, and this is the reason why he may want to leave Robert Lewandowski. But he's a highly experienced player, and apparently Real Madrid could be his next destination. What he's basically saying, he's a striker, very very tall, 6'1". He's been at Lempolsian, 58 appearances. Borussia Dortmund made 131 appearances and scored 74 goals. And now with Bayern Munich, his progression is fantastic. He's made a century of appearances in Bundesliga for Bayern Munich. He's scored 81 goals, is it, or 82 goals now. And he's provided about 12 assists as well, so that's about 94 goals in a century of appearances in the Bundesliga for Lewandowski. And all in all, 154 appearances, I think. All in all, this is 154 appearances, he's scored 119 goals, and he's provided 30 assists as a Robert Lewandowski. And it did confirm, apparently back in May, there had been talks between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid of getting a deal over the line for Robert Lewandowski. So yeah, and he's earned 88 caps for Poland as Robert Lewandowski, so he could maybe make the current move. But he's been, look at this player, after being at League Portion, if I can pronounce it, went to Borussia Dortmund for only 4.5 million. He's won honours everywhere. He's been honours with Bayern Munich, honours with Borussia Dortmund, and as well, he was the top scorer for Borussia Dortmund when he was there. Second top scorer behind Ronaldo in the Champions League in 2013 as well. And then he actually joined Bayern Munich after his 4-year period with Borussia Dortmund, and it was on a free transfer as well. And he won Bundesliga title in each of his 3 campaigns. And he's spotting the Bundesliga team of the year every season. In the 2015-16 leading scorer again with 30 goals. So he's got a very good pedigree. He's very highly experienced. He's mainly become top scorer every year, basically, where he's been. So he's really, really highly experienced. He's Robert Lewandowski, and he does have a contract with Bayern Munich until 2021. Does Robert Lewandowski? But he did report Manchester United had been monitoring the player as well. Considering he is age 29, he does have quite a few years ahead of him. But I think from Real Madrid's perspective, I think they'd rather get Timl, Werner rather than Robert Lewandowski, because obviously he's a lot younger. But it don't matter considering the age. Lewandowski, he's highly experienced, as I said, and it's always important to have that player in your team. But he's won honours everywhere he's been. He's become top scorers mostly, who he's played for. What a fantastic player Robert Lewandowski is. And I just think, there could be still, Bayern Munich obviously let Renato Sanchez go. There were rumours about Thomas Muller could still go, because now since Ancelotti took over, he isn't becoming a regular starter with Bayern Munich. He's won Polish Cups, Polish Super Cup with Posen, Bundesliga with Borussia Dortmund twice, Pokal, Super Cup, Bayern Munich, Bundesliga 3 times, Pokal, Super Cup. And look how many times he's been voted the top scorer: 2006, 2007, 2007, 2008. He won Polish Football of the Year, top scorer in the Pokal, Bundesliga top scorer. So he's a highly experienced player. He's Robert Lewandowski as well. But we also know that Real Madrid are also monitoring Alexis Sanchez. That is a City target as well. So basically, City are apparently interested in Lewandowski, considering their amount of money spent. Robert Lewandowski, I think, wants to make the move to Madrid. Also, City wants Sanchez in January. Real Madrid now. Apparently, Florentino Perez, as I did update you, is actually in discussions with Sanchez's representatives over getting a deal finalised. So it has confirmed that Real Madrid, Florentino Perez has been in discussions with the representatives of Sanchez and Real Madrid trying to get a deal over the line for Sanchez. And Sanchez, who made I think he's scored. Yes, he did score against Cologne. I think it's his second appearance overall this season for Arsenal. But he did consider that he wanted Champions League football. He did consider that he did want to make the move. Alexis Sanchez wanted to make the move. There were no two words about it. Sanchez wanted to make the move from Arsenal, and he rejected £300,000 a week. He was demanding £400,000 a week, and it looked as though City were going to get a deal over the line. He's won FA Cups 4 seasons of Arsenal, raising up the ranks underneath. Pep Guardiola is keen on reuniting with Alexis Sanchez. They were fantastic together at Barcelona. Sanchez will come cheap in January, I should presume. City are convinced they can get him for £20 million because Sanchez has refused signing a new deal, and his deal comes to an end next summer. He scored 24 goals in the league last season, did Alexis Sanchez. But apparently now Real Madrid are monitoring the player, and there has been discussions going on. But with City, I think he may be still keen on the move to Manchester City with Alexis Sanchez. And, Real Madrid, high-class team, one of the best teams in the world. You got Manchester City now, who invested a lot of money as well, and are doing very, very well this season as well. So I think Sanchez would want to elevate to that higher level, and I think he feels as though he's not going to be going to do that with Arsenal, unless Arsenal, have plans in January to reinvest and get players in to replace the departures of their current players. But yeah, as I did say, 3 FA Cups 4 seasons. I don't think that's really enough for Alexis Sanchez, and Wenger's been convinced he was going to stay at the club was Alexis Sanchez. Convinced. I think the stance would have been softened from Arsenal if they could have found that replacement for Alexis Sanchez. City had a 50 bid rejected. Initially had a 60 million bid rejected, so Arsenal could have really cashed in on there. But if they can't get that replacement, then that's probably why. But Arsenal couldn't get that replacement. They failed on the pursuit of Lemar. The Sterling swap with Sanchez had come to a conclusion as well. But Sanchez was not satisfied staying at Arsenal, and I think he will make the move in January, whether it's Real Madrid, whether it's City. I do not know. We know Bayern Munich had been interested in him as well. We know Paris Saint-Germain had been interested in Sanchez because he'd been spotted in Paris quite a few times. So, yeah, Sanchez still remains at Arsenal in this moment in time. But as I did say, in Manchester United, we've just had such a fantastic start to the season. There's still things in this team that needs to be improved. I still think we need a creative winner we can go in January. Left back's still a concern. As you saw yesterday in a 4-0 win, and that's basically now. We've performed fantastically well later, and I think now we've scored 9 goals this season in the last 15 minutes of games. Yeah, it's true. 9 goals in the last 15 minutes of game. Martial continues his trend. Martial scoring yesterday continues his trend with Marcus Rashford. Rashford coming off the bench scoring. Martial coming off the bench scoring. So it's just good that you've got 2 young age talented players in your squad, which is fantastic. I thought Matic was very, very good yesterday. I thought Mata played well as well. But it wasn't, you couldn't really say it was a 4-0 game because I thought Everton had opportunities of their own. Rooney had two glorious opportunities to score, which it didn't materialise. David De Gea made 2 good saves. But I thought overall we was better than Everton, but I don't think it was the best overall performance. So I think, with 19 goals in all competitions, only 2 goals conceded, and that were only due to 2 defensive errors. But we have conceded a lot of opportunities, and it's just good job we've got David De Gea in a goal. So it's going to be more of a tester when when we come up against like likes of City, Liverpool, Chelsea. It's going to be more of a tester than for Manchester United. Romelu Lukaku, 6 goals now in all competitions. Got Valencia, that could be the goal of the season as well. Lovely assist from Matic as well. And you got Martial scoring, Lukaku scoring. Lukaku's going to guarantee us 20-25 goals this season. You could say the third goal with Lukaku, was a bit of a poacher's goal, as I did say. But yeah, and Jose Mourinho, has been sticking with that 4-2-3-1 this season, mostly, apart from basically the Stoke game, he went with a 4-3-3. But I presume now he's going to rotate the squad, especially for Wednesday's game against Burton in the Cup. He will be rotating the squad. He will be putting quite a few young ones in the team against Burton. Albion, so he will be rotating the squad. And now you got Fellaini, who I thought played very, very well against Basel. I think he did okay yesterday as well. He went with Fellaini and Matic in midfield, or he could have even gone with a 4-3-3. He could have put them all in midfield. He could have put Herrera, Matic and Fellaini, but he stuck with the Matic and Fellaini, and we got the job done without Paul Pogba there. But I'm very, very disappointed, about Paul Pogba. It's going to be interesting to see how that affects our midfield. And I did say with the Everton game yesterday, they were defensive because, I think they went with like 3 at the back. Obviously they had 5 in midfield, so they were outnumbered a bit with Everton in the mid. I think they went with 5 in the mid. I might be wrong. Can't remember. But you got Paul Pogba, who's been very, very consistent this season. Consistent this season. Manchester United was very, very good last season. The last quarters of last season, Pogba was very good. I think he scored 7 goals last season. He's already scored a couple of goals this season, and he's assisted a few goals this season as well. He's good, he's strong, he's creative, he's good in the air, he's good at driving forward, he's good at operating the space, he's good at getting balls into dangerous positions. So he's going to be a misses Paul Pogba. He had confirmed the other day, his injury against Basel, his hamstring injury. He was a captain for the Basel game. He suffered an injury last season, but I think Pogba was only out for the 3 games. Well, it is a shame. It is a shame that Pogba's out. It is a shame. It is a shame that Paul Pogba is out. As he did confirm, Mourinho wasn't satisfied with the play, with him ignoring the medical team, with him going against the club that's licensed. Jose Mourinho's staff wasn't satisfied about this, and he confirmed he'd been privately training with a personal trainer. And Paul Pogba did initially say after the game he could be out between 4 or 6 weeks with the injury. So I presume that I thought it was slight, but I presume it could be actually more severe than we originally thought about Paul Pogba. But Mourinho's basically suggested that actually something had reported he could be out for 12 weeks. And it did say he could miss 5 Champions League games at least and the next 5 Premier League games or something like that. Jose Mourinho's totally dispelled the myth. He's insisted he doesn't know if it's 12 days or 12 weeks. He's basically just out yet. The club have not yet announced how long he could be out for Paul Pogba. I don't think Jose Mourinho is yet sure how long Paul Pogba could be out according to him. So I don't think Mourinho is sure. I think it is unknown at the moment how long Paul Pogba is going to be out, but he's classified him he's an essential player. But there is other players that can take his spot for the time being until he regains full fitness. Paul Pogba. So I hope it's not too severe. I don't want to miss him for the 3 months because when you've got the big games, and with teams that have got good midfielders like City and good attackers, Paul Pogba is a player that's very, very crucial. But we'll see what happens. And I did say with the Man United have been discussing about signing him, Fellaini, a new deal. I think Man United, the club, are actually keen on just signing him a 1-year extension, considering his age and all that. But I think the player is wanting more than a 1-year extension out on his contract because he is coming to an end of his deal. Is Marian Fellaini, the player that's been at Old Trafford since 2013. He made his first appearance yesterday from the start, yesterday against Everton. He's already scored, come off the bench twice also this season, scored. He nearly made 30 appearances last season, but only scored 1 goal, did Marian Fellaini. But he actually did agree personal terms with Galatasaray. He did agree personal terms with Galatasaray, but come to a conclusion as Mourinho had blocked his move because Jose Mourinho is a big admirer of the player. He said he's a key member of the squad. He's Marian Fellaini, and he's good at going up front. He says he's good at providing his Marian Fellaini, and I wanted him to go because obviously for me I did say would it be our first choice midfield. I said, Fellaini's I said he's a very, very static midfielder. And to me, could you say without Pogba in the midfield that midfield does still look a bit static? Yeah, you could say that. But hopefully Pogba will regain fitness before 12 weeks. I do hope so, guys. I really, really do. But we had these problems last season with the injury problems. We had these injury problems last season. We had... who did we have out? We had Ashley Young out, did we? Luke Shaw, Marcus Rojo, Ibrahimovic. And I think Ibrahimovic, but what did it say about Ibrahimovic, let alone the Paul Pogba injury? What did it say about Ibrahimovic? He could initially be, it said initially he could be out till the end of the year. He even said his career could have been over in Manchester United after he suffered that injury. But what happened? During 4 months, his progression was absolutely fantastic, and he's going to be playing by December. He's Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So it just tells you, doesn't it, who scored 28 goals last season for Manchester United. Yeah, I think at the moment, you've got Manchester United and City, Man United leading top, City just top in alphabetical order. Absolutely same. I think scored, 16 goals in the league. 2 goals conceded each on the same points and played the same amount of games. So it is basically the same. City, Aguero, the flourish of, and Jesus, the flourish of City. But I think Pep Guardiola and Mourinho are the two top managers in the Premier League, especially. You could say Conte is a very, very successful manager as well. But for me, I think it's going to be Manchester United or Manchester City this season. But City have invested, they've strengthened up at the back as they wanted to. They've strengthened up the midfield as they wanted to. But they're still keen on going for Alexis Sanchez in January, and they're still interested in Robert Lewandowski as well. What else was I going to say now? So yeah, Man United have got Burton on Tuesday. I think Mourinho is going to be, well, he will be rotating the squad, but Luke Shaw's been obviously playing for the under-23s. He has now regained full fitness, which is fantastic news. He's got under 2 years left on his deal, but he could start the game against Burton. Left back, I'd give Luke Shaw the opportunity, even though the criticism he did receive of Mourinho last season. There's also talks that Angel Gomez could play, and who have been very, very impressive for the reserves as well. And Scott Montominway as well, who have been very, very impressive for the reserves. So they could feature in the game. So we'll go into the preview later on, maybe later on or tomorrow when everything's updated about the Manchester United Burton. I will be doing the preview of that game. So yeah, guys, that's everything's updated today. So the Robert Lewandowski situation, Real Madrid are interested. Real Madrid are interested in Timl Werner for RP Leeds big. What's his name? Robert Lewandowski wants to leave Bayern Munich, I think. So yeah, that's basically really, really it. But Liverpool, I did say still, considering Liverpool's latest results, Sevilla 2-2, 1-1 with Burnley. Liverpool, I said, still need someone at the back. I think they'll revive the interest in Van Dijk in January, maybe. Chelsea will probably still want to get another player in or two in the January transfer window as well. But yeah, that's basically everything to update today, guys. So anyway, guys, subscribe to my channel as always. Drop a like on the video and take it easy, and I'll see you later. Bye.